and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, somewhere in our all Friday nights, make that AW Dynamite, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete. The bloody quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT, the go-home show ahead of Beep Beep Get Out the Bloody Road, NXT Roadblock, of course, and one of the best shows of the year, probably.
What a roadblock that has been presented in front of us. One we couldn't have expected.
Oh my God. Oh my
I'm
God.
going to break that button today.
PLE-size speed bump, but not one as big as the one that was set up on the show. Like Raw, I thought this was a just okay episode.
Disagree.
Elevated by the time of year. There is, like, stand and deliver fever in the air. Ramifications, implications, and all the stars coming together at the same time, including the ones that are aligning for your dream.
Biggest show this week for me. Coming up on next Tuesday.
What a ridiculous take. It's one thing to say, oh, the initials automatically make it better. The show was pretty crap, pretty mid. The action wasn't there. The main event segment was piss poor. I'm talking about Raw.
Oh, thank goodness.
But
Even I'm relieved with that.
But it's February, so go with it. What? Elevated by the time of year.
It's WrestleMania season. We're on the road. Capital T, capital R. The video that was on downstairs, it was like live streaming. We watched a few of them all together, by the way. It's not just me, but there was a live streaming one of just a collection of WrestleMania entrances. And you just keep watching them. Obviously, the Fed know what's hot in conversational circles on X right now.
Yes.
But there's just no misses. Like, every single one better than the last. I just watched The Undertaker come out for the Boneyard match. It's that licensed Metallica song for AJ Styles.
Which Metallica song did they use for it?
I can't remember. I don't really like Metallica. I'm not sure which one it was.
but you see, don't like Metallica, ellipsis, except when WWE are involved.
No, I was liking The Undertaker coming back on his motorbike because I remember it was very, very sad. It was WrestleMania 36, but on X, just seeing a bunch of people like, Badass Taker's finally back. There was people that wanted that. It was news to me. And then he never wrestled again. So he's back, never to return.
Good.
Yeah. BJ laying in a boneyard.
But we're here to talk
Better than that dumb made-up Cena and the Fiend. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it, and I'm scared.
What the hell has happened to this business? I already saw Bray do those jobs, and now John's undoing them. Fake. I want to take that buzzer to Wrestler's Court. I'm going to show him no mercy. If anything, actually.
So I just kicked his ass good and proper. That's how it should be done. None of these journeys into no psychological realms now.
Ain't no buzzards or witches in a dead man's fun house. There's a Yoko and a Savio.
Hey, guess what? My house ain't fun.
ain't no laughing in the dead man's house. Ain't that right, Michelle? Michelle? God damn, one of the sharks got her.
So, NXT opened up with the...
Time to tape up my fist and go to war with the sea.
That's wading through.
You know, kids jump waves. Like, he jumps a wave and it trips him and he's like, you doing it now.
He just wants to know about NXT. He just wants to know about NXT.
I do enjoy this. Take a bit, sir.
Well, he's an NXT icon, isn't he?
He is, of course, yes. And good to see, by the way, an opponent of Taker's at some point. Booker T was back on commentary alongside Vic Joseph.
Oh, teachable moment! Teachable
Good
moment!
to see Booker T.
Yeah.
Well, good to hear him.
I don't think it was.
Especially because it feels like he definitely hasn't been keeping up with the product. Whilst he's been away, he was quite a lot of the time. He was like, "What's going on here, then, Vic?"
I don't think he keeps up with it when he's watching
yeah.
it. We know this is a fact. He's thinking about his dinner.
Imagine if he came back. You actually watch this stuff, Vic. Anyway, Dragunov's out there, calls out Carl
Somebody's
Mello.
just told him it's SmackDown. He's like, I'm a SmackDown commentator now. Where's The Rock?
Dragunov calls Mello a disgusting rat. Demands he comes down to the ring. He said, Mello said that last week, if you're not talking about the NXT Championship, there's nothing to talk about. Well, the title's right here. Come out of your hiding place. Let's talk about it. And here comes Mello, but he's got loads of security with him. Mello says Ilya's the champion for now, but he's the one who makes this brand new. This is Mello security. They'll do whatever he needs them to do. Mello says that Ilya's probably still pissed that he used him and made Trick doubt his integrity. He says Ilya makes him sick, calls him spiteful, and Ilya's like, "You're damn right." And Mello says, "And that's why I'm not stepping in the ring until this match is made official." Losing the title is your biggest fear, Dragunov. I won't attack once this contract is signed, so just get the business handled. You got to the end of the night. Let's get this set up, basically. Dragunov laid out a few of the security guards, but the rest of them form a human shield around Carmelo Hayes, and we set up the storyline arc of the evening.
I was ready to go in two-footed on this because copycat stuff from one night earlier and copying a segment that was bad seemed like an unforgivable sin for those of us that watch all of WWE's excellent first-run output in a week, but they paid it off in the main. They paid it off in quite literally. If anything.
Did they?
They paid it off in the main, so there was far more reason for the security guards here than there was on Raw. Paul Heyman's off-duty NYPD mates.
Suspended, excuse me, yeah. It worked itself.
Former tough enough.
I let it play out and it worked itself out in the end, but initially I wasn't a fan.
Remind me again very quickly what happened.
Dragunov called that Mello.
Recaps.
Mello said, "I'm not doing anything until this is official. I'll only sort this when the contract is signed," basically.
Yeah. No.
Gigi Dolin's backstage. She wants to talk with Ava. She hasn't got a surname. She's the Rock's daughter, and she's the general manager of NXT, of course. They go into Ava's office, but Jada Parker's already in there. Parker wants to talk about what's next for her. Gigi says, "The line's behind me." Jada says, "I don't wait in lines." And they basically, Ava just goes, "I want you to fight each other."
Yeah. She's settled into that Postman Pierce role pretty quickly, hasn't it? Just being sick of her life.
Yeah.
That's what you took the job.
Yeah.
You've watched this show, you know how this goes. Bloody hell. Matches to make. What else do you want from me?
She didn't even see the sneak attack coming later.
Well, nobody ever does.
Who could have? I mean.
it's not like it gets shouted in advance.
Then we got our first match of the evening. It was Kalani Jordan versus Kiana James with Izzy Dame, of course, in her corner. Jordan got some decent hope spots in there. I think we all knew which way this was going, though. There's a small package in there for Kalani Jordan. She also got a 2 count off a nice downward spiral. But when she goes for a springboard, Izzy Dame, as anticipated, interferes, grabs her leg, bumps her off the apron. She falls down to the floor. Dame rolls her back in, and Kiana hits the deal breaker to get the 1, 2, 3.
Fine.
It's mediocre.
Nothing to it. I like Kiana James. She's ready for the main roster, and that's about it, really. There's no... I'm not particularly excited about her call-up, but she's just... You can tell that she's a level above, and there's not much else for her to do left on NXT, save for this potential calling back to a love square from a year ago. But other than that, she's pretty much done with this show.
Yeah, I mean, there was the odd moment where it felt like they were trying to outwit one another with a crisscross and not actually just help each other along in this eerie facsimile of what is already simulated combat, you know? Elsewhere, totally mediocre. And the in-ring highlight of the show as a result.
Your first wrestling crisscross was probably the same as mine. Hogan Warrior.
Hogan Warrior.
16.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's of our age, certainly OG crisscross. I've never liked the spot, you know. I get it, but it's weird. They're kind of trying to confuse one another deal. I don't like it. It just looks off. It's the one time in wrestling when I think rope running looks unnatural. I can totally accept that the ropes have got to bounce, and yet in the crisscross, it's just just stop. Just stop.
But then if you unpack it,
yeah,
you should just punch people in the face.
Yeah. Rather than I'm going to go to ground because he's not going to be able to stop running at this great
Yeah.
I just hate him.
Wrestling sucks, man, I'm telling you. It does.
We see last week with Lash Legend.
Last week.
Last Legend.
Yes.
No more Legends after Lash.
Obviously taking over.
We do a
shots.
preview next week.
I'll decide who the Legends are.
Lyra getting the win, and then Roxanne, furious about all this, of course, flips out in the locker room, saying she's lost a title shot 2 weeks in a row. She goes to leave. Jakara Jackson comes in and basically says, Lash Legend always stays ready. So brawl breaks out and Roxanne gets her match for the evening.
Yeah.
Roxanne Perez keeps punching people in the face, doesn't she? Drawing inspiration from her.
I like that. Good catch. He's down there giving advice. Bit tiresome, this Roxanne Perez thing, isn't it?
It's just miscast. Woefully miscast.
Yeah.
She's miscast, but in her original role, she just got a bit dull.
Aye.
New territory, maybe. Not that this ever happened.
She's in the Rumble 2023. And we were like, oh, get her up to the main roster straight away.
Yeah. And in this year's, even though on NXT she's been teasing this sort of heel run for ages, she still out-wrestled 3/4 of the people in that match.
Yeah.
Like, in that section she was in.
And I don't feel like she's going to be on the title match for Stand and Deliver.
Well, I was virtually bang right with what the champion's doing next week, wasn't it? So maybe if they haven't split that team by then, I would say it's Roxanne Perez, but that's something to get excited about in 7 days.
Good Brothers were in action on NXT for the first time here against our boys
Skip.
Idris and Malik Blade.
Back with a vengeance, wouldn't they?
They
can't wait for Tamatonga to arrive.
They isolated Malik Blade.
Hell.
Got loads of heat on him. That led to an Enofe hot tag. He came in, cleans house. Blade, meanwhile, gets grabbed by Gallows and sent into the ring steps. Enofe gets cut off. Big spine buster from Carl Anderson. And they get in there and hit the magic killer on Enofe for the 1, 2, 3. Post-match, though, before they can even start celebrating, Chase U and Duke Bloody Hudson get on the mic and say, oh, you did it to us, stealing our celebration. We'll do it to you. They say, Karma's a bitch. And they aren't the first people to come in here. It's time for a Chase U-size ass whooping. But before that can happen, they are interrupted by Axiom. And Nathan Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Who say, no, actually, we've got next on the OC. They attacked us as well. They get on the apron and argue about it. And then suddenly the LWO are there. Whacking Wild hits a big missile dropkick to Gallows, and they all team up basically to get rid of him out of the ring. Gallows and Anderson back away. All the other tag teams are in there, and they turn to the Eagle's Nest, or whatever it's called, and there are the Wolf Dogs watching over it all.
We have a tag team division, guys. That's what this was. Woefully contrived. Wasn't it? You nodded when I said woeful.
No, I nodded about
NXT.
I nodded about the family developing this tag team division to what it is today.
This is poor. Didn't they just do a promo train literally last week and it stemmed from it a bit? So this is like an unholy union of two of my least favorite things. A promo train and we just happen to be in the building.
And Good Brothers matches.
Just to show you thick twats in the audience that we do in fact have a tag team division. Wouldn't you like to see some of these teams duke it out? It's the worst TV program ever made, man. I watched this on a morning, and just, oh my god, I got that.
I'll look at the thing.
Bleary-eyed, nothing's waking me up. Nothing's firing me
company.
up.
There's so much time left. I'm so excited. What are they going to cram into this?
Class having it on the network straight out the gate as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Netflix aren't going to know what's hit them.
Yeah. I earnestly, it's the Wolf Dogs, right? They're great. Yeah. It's creative malpractice to bring the Good Brothers in as their big potential stand and deliver challengers. How the hell has that happened? Like, maybe if this is all for a 4-way and they lose it, but I can't see that happening. They're getting the title shot and they're being presented as a threat in inverted commas because they've got they're off
tenure.
Tenure. They're off the main roster. It's rubbish. That is what would we say they were yesterday? Carney Patter Gallus.
Carney Patter Gallus.
That's what they are. The friggin' Wolf Dogs in the sludge with the Good Brothers. So it was this the follow-up all along. Trash. Like already the shine feels off the Wolf Dogs from winning the belts.
The Good Brothers, it's a pretty amusing joke if you don't have to actually watch them wrestle. This is 4 minutes of nothing. Yeah. How does this keep happening?
Just
they don't care.
No.
That's kind of the gimmick.
Wrestle.
They openly admitted that the Magic Killer that hit last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, lit a fire that hadn't been there for a long time.
I know.
On the main roster for about 2 years. What are you doing?
It's such a try not to swear too much. What an absolutely awful. It's one of my least favorite things. Is like, well, just in general, tell, don't show. Like, you meant to show and not tell, and all the rest of it. It's like, because people get worked by this because some of them are stupid. You go, I'll take this seriously then. It's when someone like a wrestler goes, yeah. The fire had gone out, but yeah, I'm going to get the feeling back, or yeah, I'm up for it again now. So basically, you can just be crap for 3 years and say this. Then people are like, well, I will eagerly await the in-ring adventures of the Good Brothers.
And then they're like,
it's going to be
yeah, they're like, twist, we're not going to provide any proof. Like, here's a match that was just the same as all the rest of the matches. I mean, you described this match exactly and said the fire was out. So when's it going back on? And the idea that they can get away with it at this point, having matches with, like, every one of these teams around them are better, but they're going to have these matches, slow it down, kid. Like, less bumps, all that sort of stuff.
fewer.
I feel like now Ash can never get that right. Like, I need that correction every time and it's still not working. What is going on in there? Not that correction. It's just, like, they're not going to, people like, this whole thing about, like, people going to NXT, we're going to talk about one later on, genuinely is going to help from a coaching point of view. Great player coach. Like, reps with this wrestler are going to help. Not with the Good Brothers. Like, had a 5-minute TV match where they told me to stick a headlock on. Like,
Yeah.
Gallows told me to slow down because he was blowing out his arse. I learned a lot.
It's just that it's never not completely mediocre.
Yeah.
Why does every booker in history get worked? They must be like really charming. Like obviously they are. I've seen them on BTE. I've heard their podcast on occasion. Like, I've seen those like New Japan post presses. Bright lights, ooh. like the
Open challenge.
Open challenge. They're really funny, self-effacing guys. Like total charmers.
And you're dealing with, like, billionaires' money, so it's fun for them to be taking some off the top.
Yeah.
But
It's never not crushingly mediocre.
them not working was the best deal for everybody. I had to watch the match. I was like, oh, cool. Like, how much money have they taken out of WWE's coffers this month? Class. Good for them. I don't need the match.
With each day that passes, you just get a nice, like, beat of the long-running joke.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch them do 2.5-star matches.
Anderson, like, rode that rep for so long as well, didn't he? The get him back in. Come on, WWE.
You
Get
watch
him
that,
back in singles matches.
You had a good year in a company called New Japan Pro Wrestling in the 2012. Ever heard of it?
Where's G1 Carl Anderson?
Not being funny.
A decade
Right,
ago, that's where he is.
okay. Yeah. So last night, they said there's a fire in my belly that I haven't felt in quite some time, but it's back now. Officially today, it's back. Wasn't it Kenny on Dynamite who once said, "Where's the machine gun? Remember the guy who took Okada to his limit?
Yeah.
We want that guy." How long's this fire been out? literally 12 years.
12 years.
12 years. What's 12 years? Right. Is it Austin and Rock's full-time runs combined?
Yeah, that's the first one that came to mind.
Nitro twice? Three, a third Nitro.
Hogan's first title run or Roman's current one times 3.
Times 3.
Yeah. 4 years, isn't it? So, yeah.
What was Hogan's 84 and 91 too?
Yeah, no, like, you could be generous and say 92 was the proper Hulkamania to WrestleMania 8. So, like...
That's 8 years.
Just 4 more WrestleManias on top of that.
So hang on. From Hogan's
Yeah.
debut to Billionaire Ted.
Yeah.
That's the last time Carl Anderson had fire in his belly. It's ridiculous, man.
It's good, isn't it?
It's funny, but then I have to watch him wrestle.
Ava's on the phone talking about some title matches at Roadblock when Obafemi walks in, wants to know his next victim. She says, look, I'm figuring it out. Lots of people want
Bryan
the shot.
Danielson's Ring of Honor debut with the American Dragon 2 winning the title at WrestleMania 30.
Yep.
That entire time.
CM Punk's hiatus +5.
Yep. Great, isn't it?
12 years ago.
The entire existence of post-game show NXT. Like, the last time Carl Anderson had the fire, NXT was a game show.
Christ. Jesus Christ.
He was wild and young. He'd have been great on old NXT. He'd have put, like, Matt Striker in the mud.
Yeah.
Oba says anyone who said they want the shot, they're going to eat those words when we get in the ring. Ilya walks in. There's a little bit of a moment between the two of them.
I want to watch that. I want that.
What? Sorry, I drifted off again.
Ilya and Obafemi facing off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Punch me square in the face. Watch your Dijak tapes. Go on. Ilya are massive.
Yeah. I can really hurt you.
I'm going to put you in hospital. Do it.
Good.
Do it.
Good, if anything. Huh?
Jakara Jackson faced
Intensive care's dirty talk to me. Do it, Obafemi.
Faced Roxanne Perez next. Jackson had Lash Legend in her corner. Well, briefly, because Legend...
None in between is when they said bus wanker. Ilya's an ambulance wanker.
Yes,
He's just in there on a stretcher. He's like, yes.
jacking it.
Straight out. Sight of a drip.
So, I know I can't jack it because I've been like bound. So it's good. I get to shave the wrists, then use the wrists, which hurts even more.
Christmas and birthday. Back in an ambulance.
Lash Legend, got kicked out for distracting Roxanne Perez at one point.
Everyone else, literally in the world, if like they broke their arm, at like, would be like, oh no, I can't use this. And Ilya's like, oh, hang on, I can use it. It's gonna make it even better.
He's got a cast on it and he's smashing his arm with the cast as hard as it's going to be class when I finally get it off.
His happiest moment is when you see those people in like a comment, like a Simpsons sketch where they've got all their arms and legs up. This is heaven.
He's got to have another cast for his erection.
You ever see the music video, One by Metallica?
Yes.
Don't think so.
Where the guy is like, I think he's lost all of his limbs, the ability to speak, and then I think through Morse code. It's like it's based on an old war movie or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, please just kill me. Like everyone else, I think that's possibly like a real personal brand of hell. Ilya's like Morse code was loving this. This is absolutely great. Thank you.
Like there's a Morse code expert in there. What's Ilya trying to communicate us? I'm so hot right now.
Very entertaining. Morse code. Roxanne Perez.
I am getting so hot. I'm going to keep these bandages on.
Roxanne Perez won.
Yeah.
Face.
Yeah. I don't like her work as a heel as much.
I don't, but at least they're thinking about it. Like pop rocks, even though it's like, it's not like a flashy babyface maneuver. It's still like something that's going to get a pop.
Meaner to switch to submission.
Yeah. That means 101 in it.
Come on, WWE. It's booking 101. Strap up London while there's still time.
The girls of Chase U are backstage. JC Jane, Thea Hale, Jasmine Nix.
What are you doing smiling at the boss? That man's walking to a limo to his death and you're smiling in his face. Get your ass to Wrestler's Court and bring that asshole Kendrick with you. 2 crates of beers for the boys.
And a bottle of Jack.
Hey, Vince, take the belts off and give him the deuce and domino. The belts are Superfly's kid.
And that other one.
There he goes. And he better catch me at WrestleMania. Otherwise, he's going to Wrestler's Court when I can walk again. When the judge is out of his leg casts.
Bad news for Thea Hale.
Oh.
Because they think initially, they say something like, Jasmine was like, we don't chase you, they chase us or something.
I can't believe they waited this long to try and do some wordplay with chase you.
I'm surprised you didn't think of it first.
But yeah, she said, I spoke to Riley. And they were like, came crawling back, did he? She said, no. She said, I was a completely different person to what he'd, liked when we were at school together. So maybe we're better off as friends. Yeah, or something like that.
Riley Oswald's like, I've got a bird, actually. She goes to another school.
That's a good idea. That.
I might have done it.
There's another university at the other side of the
Yes.
performance centre. Like just inverted colours and stuff.
Yeah, varsity and stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
That would be great if there was a second university within the training centre. On the chest. I'm losing students left, right, and centre to them over there.
I wish I hadn't sacked so many students. Anyway, JC Jane says the old Thea Hale was a loser. And she said, I was talking to Fallon Henley. She said, what are you talking to Fallon Henley for? She's a loser. And Mr. Chase and Duke Bloody Hudson before I came along. She said, if it wasn't for me, Chase, you wouldn't even exist anymore. And then Kiana James walks up, says, oh, well done on the calendar and all the sales and stuff like that.
She would love that.
Yeah.
Like, she knows good business.
She's a businesswoman, after all. And Jake says, hey, check this out. Kiana, Thea was just getting advice from Fallon Henley, and this is the funniest thing to them. They're like, what a loser. And then they all head off, all the baddies really head off to have a chat together, and Thea Hale says, a loser? Seriously?
Did you want to make one of them WWE highlight compilations when Kiana James is laughing about Fallon Henley's advice? You just have like all of these images going, leave it a memory. It's like, it's still good, isn't it?
Something's happening here.
Something's happening.
Maybe not. I've got a point to make, and probably it's not the spirit of this podcast, right? But, right, Jesus Christ. So this show, did you watch this show?
I watched it twice. I watched it once for my pure enjoyment. I watched it a second time for nudes.
You watched this show?
Once and then a few segments a couple of times.
On what device did you watch it?
Phone on a network.
I'm on a laptop.
Okay, so you can watch this show because it's, a show.
Mm-hmm.
They can watch this show as well. This point I make all of the time is Duke Hudson and Andre Chase can simply watch the show that they're on. And it's not like Friends. They don't know they're in a show because they perform in front of an audience and they encourage that audience to go, give me a C, give me an H, give me an A, give me an S, give me an E, give me a U. What's that spell?
It's you.
Correct. So that they are acknowledging that there are other people in their world and those people will tweet about the show on something called the internet and they can all watch the same show. Right? So that's always bad. Chase U exists to watch wrestling shows and learn from it.
Yeah. Doubly bad because they're watching the network as per their lesson plans.
Yeah. And they don't know that they're getting cold losers. This is the stupidest.
Prior to my arrival, and also they've got a big week coming up, so they're probably not busy with classes.
Like,
they've got substitutes in so they can get ready for their title match at
are people genuinely? What's wrong with some people? Shawn Michaels is a generational goat at cooking.
Do
He
love
should have made top 3 Booker of the year.
It's the dumbest show ever made.
Can you imagine Andre Chase being like, right, can you go to, well, not textbooks, obviously, you can go to network page, click the WCW that we're going to watch Halloween Havoc today. I want to do some research on this. Mr. Chase, there's a NXT. Don't click that. Somebody clicked it. So our heads explode because the universe can't cope with it. It's like every now and then, like there's a celebrity death or some pop culture story big enough that like EastEnders acknowledges it. Mm-hmm. And it's really, they've obviously put it in last minute and a character says, did you see that on the telly about whatever? That's weird. No, you can't like imagine they were talking about, what are you doing tonight for tea, EastEnders character? Probably just sitting down to watch Coronation Street like we always do. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Like, what? Like, we were talking about this. Oh, it was one of the Oceans films, isn't it? Where they go, you look a bit like Julia Roberts. I was like, you can't do that.
She's in it.
Films in it. You look like Julia Roberts. You can pass as Julia Roberts because here's Bruce Willis. What's going on? What's happening?
Never seen a single Oceans film.
Oh,
I thought you would like them.
Class.
It's Wilborn City, that sort of thing. I haven't even seen it, and I know it's up his street.
In Ocean's 11, not the rest.
Good.
He is.
Yeah. What's it about?
A heist.
Heist.
Like, the whole point is, it's like just when
the high seas, hence oceans.
It's got that
big boat. They got a.
Is it as good as The Mask?
Well, nothing is as good as The Mask.
It's that
Is
deal where, like,
NXT as good as The Mask?
It's all on par, basically. Is
just when you think you've seen like 3 or 4 massive stars, here's 10 more. It almost like makes a bit out of it. How many massive stars can we put in this heist film? It's all right. I don't know about the second, like the Ocean's 12 and 13.
They're good.
Yeah.
Good. Not as good as the first one, but good. It's just that breaks my brain. I think it's 13 that. I just go, just pretend to be Julia Roberts. we can't do that now. She's been this character for the last 2 films.
How do you square this then? I'm asking the question. In terms of Chase U, how do you, based on that feeling?
Oh, he doesn't care.
I just explained it. She said prior to my arrival they were losers. And this week is a big week for Chase U. They got a title match at Roadblock. If they win that, they'll take the titles.
In general, though, the fact that you can't reconcile that these characters exist in a universe that they themselves can watch, which in AEW is handled fine every single time.
Can't think of any other examples where this applies, so I haven't seen any.
I'll point out the next one, arsehole.
And I will rebut it. Braun and Baron are talking. Corbin doesn't want to spray paint his jackets, please, or put some tanner on. They go up, the OC are there. Tough night for you lads, eh? It's not as easy as you think, this tag division. I did like Baron Corbin. They said, yeah, you came back to NXT. And he was like, yeah, I came back to NXT. It reinvigorated my career. And Braun goes, reinvigorated your career. And they said, back to keeping people's asses. Won the tag titles all by himself. Won the tag titles all by his own.
Steve Austin did it in 2001, which itself was a rip-off of the American Pie joke. You disagree with that fact, or?
No, I mean, greatness echoes greatness. Luke says, well, these are the NXT tag champs, are they? Easier than I thought. Carl says, Magic Killer Sparks of
Is
Flame.
that like a saying?
I don't know. It is now.
Greatness echoes greatness.
It feels like it'd be like the Latin on the Chesterfield badge or something.
These are the Magic Killer Sparks of Flame. That's
Can
been
we
going
have
for a
that
long
as the
time.
quote of the title of the video today and see if anybody notices that it wasn't said on nobody is watching this actually watched NXT. Which character said greatness, greatness in a promo? Was it Tony D? Was it Obafemi? No, it was Adam Wilborn.
American Pie won a teen sex romp that is dated horrendously.
Yeah, not
in
so good,
certain
Al.
scenes. It's got a sweetness in others, but sometimes it's horrible stuff. Greatness. Some funny, I guess, segment with the Steve Austin, The Rock, when they were too busy fiddling while Rome, as in their business, burned, and they thought, "Oh, we can have a laugh with this." It's like, I don't want to take it seriously.
I don't like that segment. You know,
I don't like it
the
either.
Margaritaville one. It's like it's the last segment before the Survivor Series, end of the Alliance thing, and you've got Austin and Rock out there singing to each other. Great.
It's
like,
wanky, innit?
yeah.
All that stuff. I don't even like the Angle Austin stuff that much.
I don't mind it. I mean, it killed the business. You watch this, it killed the business. Great.
It's people having a laugh
Yeah.
at work, right? There's a limit to how much that should happen.
I agree. What Culture Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel?
But it's just, it's just such smug.
Yeah.
Like, do you not know what's happening here? It's just so funny, Austin doing American Pie gags, that did competition have to die for this?
I think
Sorry, Wilborn, it was greatness.
I think you marks don't get about that segment is we would sing that song riding up and down the roads. So when we finally got it on Raw, that wasn't for the fans, that was for the boys. Jimmy Buffett.
Ever heard of him?
He loved this business, and the business loved him.
Breaker says they'll destroy everyone. Gallo says we'll be waiting if you can get past Chase U, basically.
Aye.
Yeah, I mean, it's a club.
And they will get past them, and it's bad. Wolf Dogs deserve better.
Yeah, they do.
It was, what match came next? It was Dijak versus Luca Crucifino. Luca had a good showing here, I thought.
The crucifixing you.
He strikes away, surprises Dijak, knocks him over the announcer's table. Dijak came back with a big super kick, but again, Luca knocks him down, hits some clotheslines, but then the big cyclone boot allows Dijak to hit him with Feast Your Eyes and to get the 1, 2, 3. Post-match, here comes Joe Gacy. He's still in the straitjacket, but he's half out of it. So
We knew he would be.
Yeah.
He's flailing
Like the
around.
props, you see.
And Dijak sort of leaning over the top rope going, what the bloody hell are you doing? Luca, meanwhile, has got the crowbar that he's hidden at ringside, nails Dijak with it. He spills out the ring. Gacy and Dijak get into a big brawl. And in the back, there's Tony D'Angelo Stacks in the Riz. And Tony says, "Oh, Stacks, you see that?" And Stacks says, "Yeah, Don, I did." Tony says, "Oh, good, go get him." "Don, you want me to get him right now?" "Oh, not now. I got bigger business." I like big business for Tony D'Angelo. That is a phrase I will forever associate with the Don. No, not now. I got bigger business to handle tonight. Then go get him. You got it, boss.
He's good. That's a good bit. You piece of That's a good bit.
As far as
Dynamite preview in 2 weeks is going to be insufferable. Whole wrestling world excited, and we're about as disconnected as you can get because you're doing mafia voices. Oh. Who's this Mercedes? Why are they bringing a car out there?
What do you make of all this, Sid?
for you don't care. Why ask us the question?
You said it twice on the show. I knew exactly what they were doing.
As far as what, 3-4 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
3-4 minute matches in which a wrestler gives an unexpectedly half decent account of themselves go. This is one of them. and maybe one of the better ones. I don't know what to say.
Aye.
Whatever. I mean,
This family
I'm
lineup
not-
is getting better and better by the day. The Riz, great showing. Tony D and Stacks, former tag champs. Luca Crucifino. Now you got Team World Beaters here.
Well, yeah. I mean, crime committers with their own legal counsel. Pretty smart.
It's a new bloodline forming in front of our very eyes.
Luca Crucifino, Tony D's wise man.
Wait a second. Noam Dar and Aura Mensa are in the back.
for AEW, right? I don't even like defending it. I don't even like it that much anymore. Don't even like it. It's back a bit. It's back a bit, I would say. I'm not fully.
When did you like it the most?
February 2020.
I could
If they
sure hear some more words from you on that. I'd love 120,000 words on that period. The
What
time
kind of
before
words?
and the time straight
What kind of
after it.
words? Though?
I'm pretty picky, passionate, insightful.
Where do you
Where
live? Where do you live?
I've just moved house, the world now.
Well, you can part this from having.
Yes!
Where did you live before?
The WWE universe.
Okay, fair enough.
Into the world. I'll be moving
See,
back.
it's
I'll
us.
be moving back as soon as possible after I bought Sidge's book. I've had to leave the WWE universe in order to get Sidge's book.
If
Once I've
Dynamite
read that.
had people with, if Dynamite had stereotypical Italian American characters that allowed you to do voices, would it be good?
Yeah, objectively better, yeah. For me, personally. And objectively, yes.
Imagine boom, let's go in Tony D in the Dynamite credit. Like John Moxley, like the viewers bring the book.
It sounds great, actually.
Doesn't it? Don't sign any more wrestlers apart from you always make the individual exceptions. Tony D and Soraya's brother. You got to get them.
You got to get.
Market,
You must get Soraya's brother. You got to. No. You have to make the exception for Soraya's brother. It's like worst Trent Seven. You know what I mean? Like a mechanically competent British guy who no one really wants to see. But worse. Tell me what I'm telling lies.
Wilbur walking at work. Anthony, you read the Rampage spoilers. Guess who they've got? What?
Who does Noam Dar want to face tonight from the No Quarter Catch crew? He says,
That's good NXT, isn't
I
it?
don't care. This was a low point for me. I'll admit that.
Like literally everybody else with the most vague connection with the medium of professional wrestling. We'd be like, Dempsey versus Dar was the best match on the show. He's like,
Not for me.
Get out.
brother, what's up, brother?
He calls him Papa,
Love that guy.
Papa Drew, Uncle Mullet, the new guy, old Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. That was quite good, to be fair. So it doesn't
Made the
matter.
same. I've lost my penny now.
Prop one.
I've got home bargains and get
Home
another.
bargains are the Woiks.
Yeah.
Here's something I was looking forward to. Lyra Valkyria came out. She wishes Shotzi a speedy recovery and says when she comes back, she'll owe her a title match. She gives a Lash Legend her flowers for showing up. She's still got the battle wounds to prove what happened last week. But she vowed to remain here as NXT champion. She keeps her vows, and she also owes Tatum Paxley something for her keeping her promise last week. calls her out to the ring. She crawls out of the guardrail bit, basically.
Like an ooze.
It continues to be. It's weird, but it's fine. Is it? Lyra? Is this behaviour
This is
fine?
body language when Paxley oozes out. It's like, as if to say, of course, of course.
She loves oozing around.
Fly Valkyria.
Yeah.
I've like the sort of, I don't know, the cadence in the body language. She's a children's TV presenter. Do you know what I mean?
I can understand where you're coming from with that one. Yeah.
You have to accept certain...
I don't have to accept anything.
No, not you. I'm talking about as a kids' TV presenter, you have to accept that like certain things are a bit sillier. Like inside the CBeebies house is a little bit wackier than out in the outside world, but you go with it. NXT's the CBeebies house.
I've got a mate who hates, I don't know if I haven't, obviously, mercifully, my children have grown up out of CBeebies.
It was goated though, wasn't it?
Well, 64 Zoo Lane. Ever heard of it?
I love 64 Zoo Lane.
Who was the young lad who presented about 5, 6, 7 years ago?
I don't know.
So I had a mate who's saying, he was like, are you a children's TV presenter? Or you're trying to sort of like be cool to your friends watching in their flat in London? Because he was like, you a children's TV presenter or not? Because you can't be cool in this environment.
Yeah.
So why are you so laid back and detached from it all? He's got really, really wound up by it. I'll remember his name.
I'll take that back in a heartbeat over these terrible YouTubers. Not us. Because we can't get through on YouTube Kids. We're vulgar. But there's some dreadful YouTubers that the kids watch now, and I miss the regulation and the joy of CBeebies.
I miss
It's just safe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Learn a bit.
I miss, you learn a little bit, laugh, love. Yeah.
You would?
Like standards, basically.
Yeah.
It had to be somewhat decent to be on television, where
Proper public service broadcasting, yeah.
unlike on YouTube.
Apart from right here.
So Tatum says, good to see you, Lyra. Last week was very hard. Seeing my sweet, sweet dove in danger of losing her title.
Totally normal ways that friends speak to each other.
Tatum said she'd do anything for you. I've proven my devotion for you. And Tatum's, but Lyra says, I promise you a surprise. I spoke to Ava. Calls have been made.
Who?
Ava, she's not got a surname. She's the rock star and the general manager of NXT.
Okay.
She says, next week we're teaming together. And Tatum's like, I knew we'd be together forever. And Lyra says, well, not like that. We're fighting the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team titles. Called it.
Listen, called it. Well, she says, well, not like that. She says, again, none of this makes any sense. She's really spooked by this friendship, and now she's set up a situation where if they win the belts, they're together more than ever. So does she want them to lose?
They'd have to do media together.
Yeah. Probably get on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
More than friends.
If anything.
That's so crap, this.
And then Rich Holland just comes out and goes, right, yeah, shut up. Enough of that. Time for me now. And I thought, I assumed this was just going to be part of a heel turn for him of just like, well, I'm going to say some bad stuff to start them booing immediately. I'll interrupt this segment. He says, look, congratulations on that, but I've got something I need to say.
WWE creative is so sexist that even if you're haunted by your darkest demons, you've still got time to shush women.
Yes.
That's basically the crack. Like, Adam Pearce just wants a drink. He's been like, Rich Holland's been in this like psychological war zone for the last few weeks, and he's like, oh, out of the way, you. I got some, men are talking, yeah?
Yeah. He says, I'm a man of actions more than words, but my actions of late have got me in a predicament. I'm the guy who always takes it too far, and I'm here to apologize for these actions. I was defending myself. I was defending my family. There was no malice or malicious intent behind it. And then the lights go off. And the text on the screen reads,
Oh, God, it sure sucks, man.
Truth will ultimately prevail, but there's always pain bringing it to light. And I thought, oh, here we go. Kazuchika Okada's come in.
Waiting for the coin drop.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then, a lone spotlight through the darkness. There's a hooded figure with a chair. They nail Holland with it. And it's actually someone the fans had recognised. It's Sean Spears.
You dick.
Surprise return.
Second time you've done that to
Yeah. Still good. Sean Spears. Well, I was going to say Sean Spears is back on NXT. Sean Spears has never been on NXT. Ty Dillinger was on NXT. But Sean Spears is back. Huge surprise, this.
Love this, because straight away, bad faith accounts doing the old, already feels like a bigger star than he was in AEW, as he portrays the AEW gimmick that he's never once played.
Yes.
To me, that's one of the better cell phones they've ever done. Record time.
They did the same with Andrade the other week.
I hate them. Who cares about them?
I'm for this, ultimately.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Spears was really good fun in AEW.
Well,
In places, yeah. Ty Dillinger was really good fun in NXT.
this isn't fun. And I'm going to tell you when we get to the line reading later. Have you got it written down what he says later?
Yeah.
But I will let a few matches play out because I always quite liked a lot of his work. As far as a boots and trunks wrestler goes, I quite liked some of his work, and some of the wrestlers need some of his work. So I think he could be a shrewd hire in that respect.
I'll give you my thoughts on Sean Spears when we get to that line reading.
Obafemi walks outside. Brooks Jensen walks up. He says, I got balls now. I want to be your next challenger. And Oba accepts, basically.
He's going to get destroyed.
He just lost, though.
Yeah.
Surely Briggs should be his next challenger.
Well, Oba was just like, well.
It's funny because he had a really, really big problem about how wins and losses affect rankings and logical outcomes and directions towards matches. About, 2 or 3 weeks ago on the Dynamite
There was
Review
no
made?
rankings in NXT, so what does that matter? Kelly Kincaid tries to get a word with Mello. She gets let through by security.
So, do you have so you are
I
happy
just want
that
consistency from my wrestling, and that's what I get every week. Greatness. Echoes greatness.
Echoes greatness. Remember, that's what they've always said on NXT.
I hate you all so much, but I hate you both so much. So what? So explain to me why you're happy that Josh Briggs doesn't get a shot at Obafemi, but the guy who he just beat gets a shot.
Well,
Does
Obafemi
basically anything go for you?
Oh no,
As
Obafemi
long
said
as it's the initials.
No, absolutely not. That's not how it works. Obafemi said he did take on all comers, and the first person who was brave enough to step up to him was
Is
a
the
guy
biggest
with.
comer.
I was going to say, he's a big comer.
He is the biggest comer.
So we've tied it
He's
together.
got new balls, so
Jesus, how much cum is he going to produce?
We've
If he's
thre-
been
we've
coming that much without balls, that was actually got balls.
We've threaded this together with white ropes.
Mello says
I know what
you
you did.
You need to sort the contract situation.
I've gone to
out.
NXT to take on all comers. Oh, well, you've definitely been watching then.
Right, we need to go for another update. It's time for.
Hey, Dijak, take those stupid sunglasses off. We're inside.
Wagner Watch.
Come Tuesday.
It was Von Wagner in action against Lexis King. Von Wagner, of course, wasn't alone, though. He's there with his manager, whose name completely escapes me, actually.
It's Robert Stone. So he doesn't.
He does.
I like the early chops to Von. No effect. So Von chops Lexis down, runs him off in the ropes. Big backdrop by Von. A delayed vertical suplex for a 12 count. But he charges Lexis in the corner and Lexis moves, drop kicks the knee, targets the leg, targets the knee throughout the match as a result. Eventually they spill out to the floor, they brawl, they sort of stumble into the manager whose name...
It's Robert Stone.
Von rolls Lexis King in and checks in on...
Robert Stone.
King targets the leg because Von's been distracted with...
Robert Stone. Check my
Maybe
notes.
Gemma Stones.
So yeah, King chops him, hits a big knee to the back of the head, but
Robert Stone.
jumps up on the apron, distracts Lexis King. Von grabs a roll up. 1, 2, 3. Von Wagner wins. I mean, he immediately gets his ass handed to him by Lexis King after the match, who also hits
Robert Stone.
with a coronation, which Stone sold brilliantly. But yeah, a win for Von Wagner.
This wasn't any good, but I sure liked it. It's nice to see Von getting a win.
Not really, because it looks like they're not long for this world, are the Stone and Von Wagner.
No, but we knew that. That was ultimately
I don't like that, man. I just want to see them be friends forever.
Lexis King as well.
Lexis King is absolutely horrible.
Such a rubbish wrestler, isn't he? It's great.
He's
It's great when he loses. I can't wait for him to wrestle again next week. He's such a rubbish wrestler.
Like, I know not everyone watches on YouTube, so I will describe what I'm doing. Like a monologue. I'm tired. Lexis King. You know the whole, well, wait there. You know the
I thought
whole,
you stood for the King there.
you know the whole idea. The whole idea. I don't know what that is. The whole idea of like striking is like say in football, if you want to generate power, you want to really smash it in the upper 90. Instead of like placing a pass, it's like you got to put your bloody laces through it. Follow through. You'll know this.
You follow through regularly, don't you?
I was just to take the piss out of the fact that he hasn't got an athletic bone in his body.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to smash it, just follow through. If you want to punch someone in the face, like you just follow through on that connection,
him,
right? Boom. If I was to punch you in the face, Wilborn, and like try and aim for like an inch behind that chin of yours.
You haven't blinked it about it.
He doesn't, does he? When he's looking right at you.
When like that useless tosser Brian Pillman Jr. is going to kick someone in the midriff, it's like this. Like he just goes. It's like, what are you doing? It's like you're trying to kick a bit of lint off someone's belly button. He's rubbish.
Yeah. Wonder
Never going to get good, is he?
Nah. Wonder who these two next week, though.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
And now
of
he'll
this.
thank them.
Yeah. Vaughn getting a win. Made a change. Made a nice change.
Aye, but does it?
I don't know. I'm not sure what he's got for stand and deliver. That's my worry at this point.
You know what's funny, though? What I just thought of is that you're excited, Wilborn, to see. You went like this in preparation, didn't you, of recapping this match where Von Wagner defeated Lexus King.
Yes.
And you're excited. And you thought, oh, it's good that he's got a win on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You're
He always
excited.
he just loses a lot. I'm just happy for him to have to win.
Right, okay. But we established, Wilborn, that Brooks Jensen got a win. No, didn't get a win last week. Josh Briggs got the win, right? And you said that it doesn't matter if wins.
No, I said rankings don't matter. I didn't say wins and losses don't matter. Putting words in my mouth there. Right, big row in the back, basically.
So you're happy for Von Wagner to win, even
I'm just
though
happy,
you
yeah.
know it doesn't go anywhere on this brand.
Well, it might lead to a title shot against Overfemi. You don't know that.
But you know what I'm saying? You're an idiot.
Just when Cedric thinks he's lead a perfect trap, Wilborn hops right over it. It's like watching a game of chess.
Only on NXT.
Two
Well,
masters.
you're far too smart with everything else. I'm like,
Masters
no,
playing off
actually,
against
this
each other.
World of
I'm
bollocks.
stupid, me, man,
It's like
honestly.
Gary Kasparov and Deep Blue right now. I watch these two talk about NXT.
There's a row.
You're Kasparov.
What the hell are you talking about?
That chess match where he like played a computer.
I don't
Deep
know.
Blue.
No idea.
Guess I'm the only educated one.
I like to analyze something as fundamentally silly as professional wrestling to make me feel like an intellectual titan when in fact I'm very stupid.
Intellectual Titan Sports.
We're running behind, so I'm gonna skim through the
cares?
facts. There's I ain't got anywhere to be. So
I'm never happy when I'm sat right here with you two.
there's a row in the back.
It's all right. My wife only watches when Stax is on 611. It's fine. Love you.
Ariana Grace basically
Love you
said,
too, both of you, and you, Nicholas.
Yeah.
And NXT.
I love NXT.
basically Ariana Grace says to the women, guys, stop fighting. And Laura
Why be a
Bacchus-
wrestler then? Why
Laura
be
Bacchus says
a
exactly
professional wrestler?
that. What are we doing? What are we doing here if we're not fighting?
I didn't grow wings and fly to NXT to not be a wrestling bird person.
And that would feed into the next match where Jada Parker and Gigi Dolin are in action. Ariana Grace comes out and goes, stop fighting. And that allows, Dolin slaps her. And that allows Parker to win with a running forward.
This was, in a word, slow.
Don't care about the match. But dare That's it.
Hey, hey.
Do you prefer liar then? Are you more of an Ace Ventura guy? Your favorite Jim Carrey film?
The I prefer a flan of Jim Carrey films is like more of a cable guy, innit? Because it's like
I'm sorry.
it's number 23 for me, if anything.
I like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And what is my favorite Jim Carrey film?
I'd probably go with Man on the Moon because there's wrestling in it. It's very good though, actually, Man on the Moon.
Been years since I
Truman Show.
saw it.
Honestly, love the Truman Show.
That's good.
Not as clever as it thinks it is, but like
Nowhere near.
nice piece of business though.
Yes.
It's too noisy for me, that one, too loud. And
What?
it's very, very Jim Carrey.
You
that
listen to Michael Cole every single night of your life. Yeah, honestly, what are you talking about?
I was chatting with Ludwig Kaiser in the back about our favourite Jim Carrey films.
You listen to Cool and McAfee.
Yeah. But like wrestling's happening as well, so I've got both. It's like a
Yeah, but what's this? What's this?
I don't know. Just
What are you
me,
talking
myself,
about?
and Irene,
What are
I
you
was
talking
just,
about?
I was just tiring of the Jim Carrey template by then a little bit.
Well, it was a departure from his
When you're
usual
tired of the Jim
norm.
Carrey template, you're tired of life. That's what I always say. Right,
I'm going to attach some.
You have tired of the Jim Carrey template, and you've been podcasting with him for 7 years.
He reinvented the wheel. Like, he saw Jim Carrey's wheel. He's like, I'm going to reinvent that.
I saw Jim Carrey's greatness, and I thought, well, greatness echoes greatness.
This echoes greatness. I was going to say there's lore to this Ariana Grace character, by the way.
Yes.
She's a second generation star. But what was Santino Marella not? A wrestler. He was more about not fighting, wasn't he? He was more about patter and having tea with, like, sort of various guest hosts and all that sort of nonsense. And that's what she's
Getting
watched.
Kozlov in NXT.
Why not? Like,
Oh my god.
she's basically going out and saying, look, all this wrestling won't get
Beaver.
Oh, I'd love a bit of... Imagine a Bevo gimmick on NXT.
You
Just
don't need to chew. You don't need to chew.
like, they go to Tony
Look.
D's... Go to Tony D's restaurant and he's like, glad you came to meet us tonight. Oh, God, he's already finished.
I've got the keys to the lock box right here. Oh, well, they're gone.
Bang it. You were
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Don't need to chew. You don't need to chew. Look.
Anything else you want to say about this?
No.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, in amongst all this, by the way, I put them together, but in between, someone, don't spoil the mystery, someone's filming backstage. Dijak's arguing with Ava. She's going to say, I'm sure I thought NXT general manager. The cameraman walks up and says, Dijak, you might be done with me, but I'm not done with you. The camera drops and it's Joe Gacy in full gear who attacks Dijak. They probably have to be separated. Ava yells, you can't keep doing this. And apparently there's an asylum match booked now for Roadblock.
Right. So, it was Gacy holding the camera and now they're brawling. Cute idea, right? Steve Austin dressed as cameraman. Mick Foley dressed as cameraman. This has been done before.
Edge.
Nice, yeah, Edge. It's a nice bit.
Don Callis.
Don Callis. Maybe the best version of it. You pointed out, didn't you? This shot isn't quite right.
Yeah.
Like,
Majestic.
really, really good stuff, right? But we are all so stupid when we watch NXT. It's like, how do we know it's Joe Gacy? Well, just put him in his gear. Well, then if he's in his gear, which he was,
Yeah.
that means Joe Gacy in his gear is holding the camera. It's like, what, this big maybe? Like, it's maybe covering his face at a push. Dijak's like, something not right about the interview. He's got Joe Gacy's exact body and wrestling gear and a little bit of his face and his hair. Cameraman, you got a brother, he's a wrestler. Like, at no point is it like, but it's all for that shot where the camera's on its side. It's like, wait a minute, that's Joe. Even though Ava, she's not got a surname, she's rock star, she's GM going, Joe Gacy, the wrestler, stop it.
Yeah.
There's so many
just in
ways
case you run away.
you could have illustrated it was Joe Gacy, but he's filmed him, Billy Bollico, apart from his gear. Like, Dijak hasn't. Wait a minute.
It's the worst show ever made. The thing is, it's unacceptably bad now because everyone's lived through like TNA and WCW. That's an artifact. You just don't get that kind of bad anymore.
No, yeah.
Well, except we do. So
This is it.
should have learned.
When like Vince Russo's Nitro's the low bar, shows like this are just nowhere near it.
Yeah.
Like, nowhere near it in terms of how illogical that was. And I would still, even now, it's not quite as zany as the original 2.0. I still wouldn't go back to the CWC.
No.
That's the damage Triple H did to me by the end of that run.
You ruined it.
Never go back. Like, I'd take this all day.
Yeah, okay.
We see a shot of
He does.
We see a shot of a beach with a cryptic message, see you soon. Is that Sol Ruka I saw people saying coming back? Or maybe they get Tom Hanks in his
104
castaway
highlights
role.
in the sand. Cryptic. And then a massive...
With like an incredibly clear message. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. And then after it says soon, they just stamp a roadblock logo on it. I think I know when soon might be. Let me watch this again. Slow it down.
Cryptic. Is that for your bullet points?
No, just
Yeah, it's Sol Ruka roadblock.
Sol Ruka. Well, I thought it might be Tom Hanks. You know, either or. His castaway role. Fancy to do something a little bit different.
Joe Gacy would make friends with a football or a volleyball and lob it at people's head, wouldn't he?
Wilson, yeah.
Would paint his yellow smiley face on it. Throw it at Dijak. Played volleyball for Chase U.
Yes. Heritage Cup match next.
Skip.
Cool, please not talk about it.
We are running low on time, so we should get to the good stuff.
Yeah, it was Noam Dar versus a member.
Do you know what NXT doesn't skip at least a round?
Yeah, I know.
A surprise, mate. It was the catch rules.
Oh, God.
I hated the experience of watching this
Me
competent
too.
wrestling, mate. I hated the experience of watching this competent professional wrestling.
I think it's as bad as the industry gets.
Or is it competent? Because I don't care.
Yeah, well, yeah, it fails at that. But
Which is the whole point, really.
I was watching this, just arms folded, just this isn't what I tuned in for. Solid wrestling between Noam Dar and Charlie Dempsey, as it turned out, from the No Quarter Catch crew. Dempsey actually scored a pinfall in the first round, to the surprise of everyone. Round 2's completely in the break. As is a bit of round 3 as well, I think.
It's
at least half of it.
It's the stupidest show.
They've never rolled this gimmick out without ad breaks.
No.
It's like they've come up with it. Now, as we're devising it, I'm kind of bored of it. An ad breaking.
Yeah.
If anything.
Come back for the end of round 3 where Dar gets dropped on his head and Dempsey eats an elbow, but the time expires. In the 4th round, Dar hits the Nova Roller to level it up at 1-1. And then in round 5, you get Miles Bourne jumping on the apron. Ora Mensah goes after him. Mensah gets posted by Bourne. Then Gulak and Damon Kemp jump on the apron. Dar gets rid of them, but that allows Dempsey time to recover. He catches Dar with a dragon suplex. Bridges, 1, 2, 3.
The bridge.
Charlie Dempsey's your new Heritage Cup champion.
I think he really leveraged his opponent's weight against him intelligently with that well-executed bridge.
I preferred the friggin' Ric Flair Shawn Michaels bridge that fell apart, because at least I felt something compared to this one.
There's a bit of pathos there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Before you remembered.
The last thing that he can do, and he can't really do that, time to put old Yeller down.
Hang him up. Boots.
The Noam Dar, like, I think it's good that Charlie Dempsey has this trophy that they all really
Why?
want. Well, because, like, I never cared, really. But if you just stop and analyse this Noam Dar thing for a second, he goes, like, 4 rounds working really hard, often winning falls clean. And then typically he's been winning by, like, a banana skin in the 5th. That doesn't work. It's one thing if you just go through your whole career getting banana skins in standard matches. But in 5-round matches where you're scoring points all over the shop with submissions and pinning combinations, and then, roll up at the end for me, I'm the cheating heel. Are you a class?
I know.
Keep doing that. It never made sense.
Yeah.
So it probably is in better hands with these complete geeks, these stinking, like, wrestlers. It's like the heritage. What was it? Like, it's the rich history of British wrestling, like World of Sport.
Is there a rich history?
Nah. No, there is not. Well, there'll be somebody on there. I mean, there won't be, but there'll be somebody in the imaginary comments going, I think you find there is a literal rich history, because the Queen was known to attend some of those World of Sport shows. Thank you very much.
Sean Spears is leaving the building when he's accosted by a cameraman. And they say, why'd you attack Ridge Holland? And he says, I like Ridge, but he's been lying to himself for far too long. The jolt of pain in his body is simply the truth, and the truth can bring you to your knees. I'll see you at Roadblock.
Sean Shakespeare, is it?
He's going for the local theatre club's Macbeth. Sean Spears has got 2 things. The mechanical side of this business and being a little twat heel alongside MJF.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah.
3 things.
He's good as a little prick sidekick sort of supporting character. The idea that he's like this chair-wielding maniac psychopath, this bone-chilling presence, is so unbelievably bad to me. And, of course, NXT gets it wrong. Of course, WWE thinks, holy shit, is that Daniel Day-Lewis? We just found the next Daniel Day-Lewis here, guys.
Are they just going to rename him Shakespeare's?
Might as well. This line reading was so cringeworthy. I thought Sean Spears, alongside MJF for the Wardlow stuff, was on great form. Priceless. Found his calling at long last. And now they think he's like Mr. Dram.
Well, like,
First name Am.
of all the places where you need somebody to end up doing silly stuff, you got to think he's in the right place. NXT's.
This is
It'll get him. It'll get him. It'll
I
get
hope
him
so.
eventually, and just it'll get him.
This was so bad. Like it was. This line reading was horrible.
This Sean Spears versus Why Am I So Violent, Rich Holland. Like, they're even going to wrestle. They're just going to, like, both stand and have sort of, like, those moments to themselves. I don't want to hit you. I don't want to hit you either. Now we've got to lock up. Something's got to give.
Main event time.
Oh,
Ilya Dragunov's in the ring, pacing up and down. Out comes Mello with security. Got all the table, the contract signings all set up. Ava's there, of course. She hasn't got the surname. She's Rock's daughter. She's general manager of NXT. Mello says, this is more like it. Contract, the boss is here. Now we're talking the same language. I brought the security out, but it's only for my own protection. Let's get this on the road. I've been separated from this title for far too long. My title for far too long, he said, actually. Ilya says that I realised who you are, Mello. You'll discard anyone and anything for the title. And Mello says, it's shocking to hear that from someone who said he was going to take my soul last week. The only difference between you and me, Ilya, says Mello, is that I'm colder with how I do things. And I'm going to take that. Anyway, enough of all that shit. Tony D and the goddamn family's here. Oh! Tony walks out. There's Stacks. There's the Riz. But he sends them to the back. He's going to do this by himself. And let me tell you, there was a button made for this, Michael. I thought it might get us knocked off YouTube, but I'll play it very briefly because it sums up perfectly exactly what this was. Cinema, ladies and gentlemen, is what followed. Tony walks to the ring and says, oh, excuse me, gentlemen and lady, but if you're talking about big business, I got to be included in the conversation. And Mello says, shut up, you. I'll have my security take you out. And Tony says, oh, Mello, listen to me. You don't have to be him or the NXT champion to make things move around here. There's only one Don. And then, wait a second, I'll get us taken completely off YouTube here. Then,
Oh my God.
he clicks his fingers, and the security all jump down and walk away. The Don controls it all.
Then I understood why we had security. What a reaction the building this got, by the way.
Oh, huge cap.
When people realised the fix was in.
And Tony says, oh, where was I? I can't be the only one who sees the NXT title picture's been dominated by the Ilya Mello trick saga for 8 months. But in my opinion, there's only one man who can flip this on its head, and it's the Don of NXT. I got respect. I even like Trick. And Mello tries to interrupt. And again,
Oh my God.
take note. This promo is brilliant. Do not speak when I am talking, says Tony. Another huge happy.
Who are you telling to take note there? Just out of interest.
Any young students of the game.
If you want greatness, echo this greatness.
Yeah,
this is the
indeed.
Chesterfield Sean Spears over here. Trying to get his big
Sean
break.
Spires.
Ah, yes.
Very nice.
Very, very good. It's, how old are you?
What year is it? 35?
Are you looking at me?
35, yeah.
Okay, it's not happening for you.
No. I've had my time. Oh, Mello, you better here to talk about this NXT title, right? I've heard it all. Who cares? Mr. Dragunov, you dress like a champion. Your intent's a little too dramatic for me. But I'm going to talk to you harshly because you know you can handle it. That make people a little uncomfortable. So put your earmuffs on, Mello. Another huge pap in the Wilborn household, at least. I'm here to show the world and talk to you face to face and tell you that Tony D'Angelo is the one who wants to take the NXT title from you, not Carmelo Hayes.
Be to show the world. That's like it's like, you know when Peter Beardsley does the World in Motion rap. That's you doing Dolph Ziggler. I'm here to show the world.
On the back. Honestly, it
Must have been a rib. Must have been a rib.
feel like Nathan Fraser. He's behind me, isn't he?
Tony says, oh, see, I've earned everything I ever got, and anyone who ever crossed me on everything that they had coming to him. So listen, Melo's over here demanding a title match. I'm telling you right now, Ilya, Tony D'Angelo is going to earn an NXT title match at Stand and Deliver. Oh, yo, yo. Right. Ilya says...
Right. Got how else?
Ilya says he respects that. Tony says, now listen! Ava, she ain't got a son, ain't you right, daughter? Thank you, gentlemen. Ava agrees if you agree. Next week, get on the goddamn road. NXT Roadblock is going to come Tony D'Angelo. The winner gets an NXT title match and Stand and Deliver. Oh, yeah. Ava says, that is ultimately Ilya's decision. And Ilya says, I'd like to see nothing more Then Mello actually earned something for the first time. So, Tony, you've got your match, but please whoop that Mello. And Mello says, "You're going to stand behind this coward of a champion?" And Ava says, "Yes." And Mello says, "You can't beat me, Tony. You're rubbish. If we need someone to take out the trash or bookkeep for some washed-up school, you're the man. When it comes to the NXT Championship, I'm the Don." Tony gets in his face. Mello shoves him. He bumps into Ilya. Tony turns back around and gets slammed through the table.
Good title challenger.
Mello signs the contract and stands tall.
He got what he needed. He took a bump. He was like, "This works out pretty well for me."
So the night you basically say Tony D is coming for that title, he gets bumped at the end of the segment. So was this cinema for you?
This was absolutely brilliant. It's one of my favourite moments of wrestling this year so far. This.
What about in history?
Not. I gotta let it play out.
Yeah, pump the brakes.
You want to see where it goes, don't you?
Yes.
You got to pay it off. You set it up. You got to pay it off.
If what I hope happens next week, picture this. I want to be unbearable.
I'd
Picture that.
I found myself thinking about if Tony D goes all the way and wins.
I found myself crying.
Like us discussing his title matches at the likes of Battleground or Halloween Havoc.
I thought suddenly, I've realised if he wins the title and he comes out and does I'm the champion, I'm going to cut a promo. I was like, I'm not going to be recording this podcast at 4 p.m. Right, he said this and then he said this. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Make a sacrifice for my art. So,
And this was art.
Yes.
And cinema.
Mm. In fact, actually, whilst you two, sorry to skip out on the end of the pod.
What?
But whilst you two let us know your thoughts on this and just kind of wrap up the end of the podcast, I'm going to go and make sure we've got tickets for Stand and Deliver because I do not want to miss. I assume they are going to be selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. No, well, if you go on WrestleTix right now,
the internet's off.
Well, not really because we're recording.
Yeah,
we don't need internet to record you.
But no, I can see there's a
big timer. Yeah,
there's the big timer.
Yeah. Well,
so
it's working over there. I'll go and see if I can check the internet.
Oh, hang on, it's gone, Nicholas. You turned it off.
There's definitely tickets. They've booked a massive
I'm just going to do.
It's a massive building. There's loads of seats. It's dynamite. There's tons of seats available.
Yeah, but I'm going to book a second round of tickets just in case.
Filled on it.
I need to do
But it's on futures money, so even if you wanted to go on the secondary market, which I can't imagine is that strong, we'd be fine.
Yeah, I'll just.
Phil keeps telling you every week, stop pestering me about these tasks on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I do them, and I don't need your prodding.
I do them.
I do them.
I'm going to go and check anyway, okay? I'm just a bit anxious about all this.
He's going to send you back straight up.
I'm sure
The thing is, like,
he will.
you could just
do it after the podcast. No,
Yeah.
But after I've got so jazzed by reading that through, I'm thinking they're going right now, and I
maybe because
I'd
that
never
actually
forgive-
happened last time. They're already gone.
Maybe, well, exactly. If that has happened, I'll never forgive myself.
What will you do? What will you do?
I mean, I'll have to just beg, borrow, or steal.
Would you kill yourself?
I'm not going to go that far, but
You're not echoing greatness here, Wilborn.
yeah. Well, I'm going to go and double check. So you let us know your thoughts on this excellent segment and this show overall, and then just wrap the whole thing up if that's all right. Cheers, boys. Thanks, everyone.
Okay,
Adam
cheers.
Wilborn on.
Hope you get your tickets.
Slightly weird way to end this one. I was really happy with how this played out. I thought it
I mean, the
was quite-
challenger got his ass kicked. He got bumped, didn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah, but the point is he's there.
No, he's not winning the title. The point is he's there. Oh my God, for 9 out of 10 show. The point is it happened and he was what? Are you talking about?
Trick could return next week and get Tony D into the.
Well, we'll save that for the preview next week, which you can obviously join us on
Yeah, you
YouTube
can.
or Amazon Music or Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Tony D, what a performance, huh?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
How do
must
you
all
feel
be-
about the end of the show, huh?
Must be excited about going to the pay window in wrestling as well as your other business interests.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see Tony finally getting what he goddamn deserves, especially after we've established that tag division now. So
Yeah.
Would you prefer Tony to go after singles gold or for you and Tony to go for the tag team gold?
Well, we've done the tag thing now. It's kind of played out. So I think Big Gold, I'd just be so goddamn proud for the Don. And I feel like I was a bit of a champion as well, what with being the underboss. If he, kind of like an understudy. If he wasn't there, I'm sure I could defend it on his behalf.
Stacks, I know obviously coming over from Florida, you're not typically used to cold weather. That explains why you dress like this.
That does explain
It
it.
does, doesn't it? Are you into English sports? Maybe soccer?
A little bit, somewhat.
You got any jerseys?
I'll tell you what I do, I particularly like this Chesterfield FC team, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. So
I'm gonna pick a team of goddamn winners. I particularly want to pick a team who are 23 goddamn points clear with only 33 points left to play for in the goddamn league.
I've got some bad
That
news.
Will Grigg, let me tell you, he's on fire.
I've got some bad news.
Not literally.
Is there a chant that they do for him?
It goes, Will Grigg, he's on fire. And that's how it goes.
Defense is terrified. I got some bad news for you. I know in your country, obviously, you've got the Super Bowl, NFL, the National Football League. You've got yourself a bit confused because the National League in football, it's not the top division.
Top league.
No, you've sort of done it the wrong way around.
I ain't heard much talk about this Boreham Wood before.
Yeah. You probably should look towards the Premier League. That's the one that's on TV all the time.
So
over
much
there.
more goddamn.
But you're invested now, aren't you?
Let's see how that happened.
Will Grigg's on fire. Your defense is terrified.
You left Barnett in the dust.
Goddamn did. Suck it, Bromley, too. Anyway, Sidge, what's the deal with sleeping? National Public Sleeping Day, of course, as we all know today.
Well, it's just something.
That was yesterday.
It's something that happens when you are tired, basically, after a long day of work.
That works sometimes.
Apparently so. It's just, you succumb to it. It's a state of, unconscious, are you? I don't really get it.
Not sure.
I don't get it. Scientists, don't really know why we sleep or why the body.
Why we dream.
No. Do you know where dreams come from? So it's basically something where you just get a little bit of a rest. But I find that the older I get, there's no amount of sleep is enough. Do you get enough sleep?
Never. I
So
always
you know what
want
sleep
5
is?
more goddamn minutes.
So you know what sleep is.
I don't know what happened. At the end of the day, I just kind of miss out a few hours, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here, huh?
What? So, right, okay. So at the end of the day, you just miss a few hours.
No, what happens? I'm like, oh God, my body aches. I've been doing the wrestling. What I do is I'm gonna lay down, let my muscles recover, pop the old head over the eyes, and then suddenly, whoa, what the hell? The boys are chirping. It's morning.
Okay, but do you have adventures during that time where things enter your head?
Sometimes I'm eating a giant marshmallow and wake up, my goddamn pillow's gone. I'm like, what the hell's happened here, huh?
But right, so you're not familiar then with the concept of dreams.
Oh, maybe that's a topic for another day.
Okay.
He never needs waking up because obviously Stack's being a wrestler at the Performance Centre is constantly watching tapes of old workers, right? And sometimes Tony D will ask you, like, do you waking up? And you're like, nice try, Don, but I don't sleep.
So do you have some like crazy magical adventures?
Sometimes, let me tell you.
Okay.
But you know what? You know what I thought last night? I read this thing that said apparently 30% of pet owners let the pet sleep on the bed with them. So I thought, I'm going to give that a try last night. Woke up, my goddamn goldfish is dead. What's the deal with that?
I didn't get the pop, then he got the pop.
4 jokes.
You were literally-
questions for you.
You were literally sleeping with the fishes.
Indeed, exactly.
We got 4 jokes, is because you remember, Nicholas, you repeated one, didn't you?
I didn't. I forgot about the bidet, mate.
So we're getting
To an Australia
4
batter
now.
twice.
And a little thing to send you off with as well.
Jesus Christ. am I
Bumper edition today. Such question joke number 1. Why does Morrissey have trouble sleeping?
I should know this.
Ah, I've got it.
Because
In
this
his
night is-
bedroom, there is a light that never goes out.
Straight out of the gate.
Straight in, let's go.
this night has opened his eyes.
Also great.
Also good.
Well,
What?
why is it not great, Stack?
I didn't know, but I don't know much Morrissey to be perfectly goddamn honest.
Well, it was Smiths, so.
Yeah.
It's the stuff you're allowed to like.
Well, this charming man's gonna get on with question joke number 2. Why is Indian food so good for sleeping, Hamflin?
Right, okay, so, right. Taka dal, paneer, tikka masala, danzak, pathia.
Knocks you out so much you could put you in a coma.
That's it. What's the setup again? We'll try and get
Why is Indians food so goddamn good for sleeping?
I think it's coma.
It puts you,
It puts you in a coma.
It puts you in a coma.
Good.
Ah.
All right. Why is Indian food so good for sleeping? Because you doze off as soon as you hit the pilau.
Dickhead.
Each question joke number 3.
It's really gone. It's like our trip in Austria with everybody out.
Stop it, Hamlet.
Do you know, after we discussed that, somebody, I apologise, I can't remember who said it on X or wherever I read it, there's a department in Austria or Australia, one or the other, where you can go if you've accidentally gone to the wrong one. And they have to sort you out.
Shut up.
Shoot, I read
Was
this.
there a link to this?
I will have a look as soon as we get back to our desk because I was alerted to this. That this is a
I can look it up on this computer. It's connected
I think
to the internet.
the producer's doing it. So, the internet's back, is it?
Oh, thank God.
Internet's
Oh, right, isn't
Wilborn
that
will probably
funny?
be up in any minute now. Then, like,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nothing yet?
No?
Austrian airport doesn't have a desk for travel.
Wow! So lots of people thought this. That, well,
You
I
got worked like a mark.
I was lied to by somebody on the internet. Yeah.
What a mark.
Question joke number 3.
What the hell's wrong with being called Mark?
Everything.
I wasn't looking that way. Was the Undertaker just here?
I got an invention for his decks. It's called Mark and the Shark. Shark Calloway.
Shut up, man.
Nice try, big man, but I don't swim.
Shut up, man.
Question joke number 3. Why should you never sleep with a whale?
This what's the setup again? Sorry.
Why should you never sleep with a whale?
Because you know how, like, Stax, yeah, he's right here, likes to do his, before a deadpan with a swear word in it.
Yes.
That's one of his preferred joke deliveries. Do the setup?
Why should you never sleep with a whale?
Because you're f***ing drowned.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
I note down on this little thing here what the whale was.
Why? Wilborn will catch that.
Good enough, right? Why should you never sleep with a whale? Because they always like to hump back. Have a question joke number 4.
Number 4. Honoured.
Honoured. Honoured.
Why did Napoleon and his wife sleep with other people?
Because they like to bone apart.
Going apart.
Ah! So goddamn proud of you guys. One final thing before I gotta go, though. Little thing to... Stax's final thought, you might say, for the podcast.
My shoulder hurts a little bit.
She's gonna...
Should have thought this through. You could have wrapped this podcast up. You've never had a chance to close it.
Indeed, I gotta shoot, though. But before I leave, let me leave you with this. If sleeping with 3 people is called a threesome, sleeping with 4 people is called a foursome, I guess now it's clear why everyone calls me handsome. See you later, guys.
Bye, Stax.
Well, if you've enjoyed Stax today, and who doesn't, why don't you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. If you are interested in getting hyped up for Dynamite, well, good news. We recorded a preview of the AEW Dynamite podcast.
Good news. Good news, guys.
Which you can catch on YouTube. No, you can't. Wherever you get your audience, you f***ing up the... It's the cameras.
Where's Wilborn gone?
Keep it on me. Keep it on me. We need Wilborn. You need Wilborn in your life. And guess what? If you want more Wilborn in your life, he hosted the AEW Dynamite preview, which you can listen to wherever you get your audio podcasts from. Yeah? On Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, wherever you get those suckers from. Thank you for joining us today. We always appreciate your help. You can follow us all on What Culture if you want more of us. Picture that on X at What Culture WWE. Whilst you're there, you can follow Michael Hamflet at
Michael Hamflet.
You can follow me at M. Sidgwick. You can follow our usual host, Adam Wilborn, at Adam Wilborn. Our unbelievably, almost disgustingly, depressingly handsome producer, Adam Nicholas, at It's Adam Nicholas. F*** off, I've just said you were handsome. See you later, guys.